Hey guys, it's Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome back to YouTube's greatest series, Creative Wednesday. The day that you can take a break from editing and watch a video about editing. What are we doing with our lives? Well, I know one thing: you have passion. You want to pursue your dream and become a great video editor, but you decided not to go to film school, so you're stuck with me. Now, today I've got 7 habits that you should develop as a video editor. Things that you should do on autopilot and it will drastically improve your work. So let's see what they are. The first one on the list is organization. I know, we all saw it coming, but it needs to be set. Can you open a project from last year and still understand how you build everything? If you can't, then you suck at organizing. Luckily, it's not a talent, it's just a simple thing that you can make a habit of. For every new project, I create a folder and I put everything in that folder. This way, whenever I need to move this project over to a different computer or to an external drive, I won't get the message that files are missing because I used some assets that I downloaded, and guess what? They are still in my downloads folder. So stick it all together and make sure to create subfolders. Put your footage in one folder, your projects, your music, and your assets. An assets folder is great, by the way. Every file that you don't know where to organize goes into the assets folder. There, problem solved. Now in Premiere Pro, I make sure to work with the same folder structure, and this way I can easily find back everything. Next on the list is to develop a way to save time. Editing is not about dragging your mouse across the room and clicking the crap out of it. All your time should be spent towards the creative aspects. So make use of shortcuts. You can set custom shortcuts in Premiere Pro, so make sure to do that. There are actions like ripple, trim, delete, which literally does 3 things at once. Let's see which one is faster. Yeah, now imagine having to make like 100 cuts of these. You get my point. Almost every action can be set to a short key, and you can even use these special keys on your mouse, or if you're like Timo, our editor, you can buy tools that gives you even more buttons. I mean, I didn't even know Timo still has a mouse. Now, saving time is not only about shortcuts, it's your whole workflow. There are animations that you often need, well then make a preset of that. Are you losing time in your workflow? Then try to see what causes that and fix it. I'm talking about saving time, you want to check out today's sponsor, Storyblocks. Now, we use their ever-growing library on almost a daily basis whenever we need transitions, animations, text effects, backgrounds, presets, heck, anything. There are high-quality 4K stock clips for if you need an extra insert shot or if you're just unable to shoot at a certain location. Check out these cinematic drone shots, they look amazing. Or these time lapses from within the city, gorgeous. And you know what? The great thing about Storyblocks is that with an active subscription, you can download unlimited video assets, which you can also use for commercial projects. There are no extra fees, so more than enough reasons to check it out, which you can do by clicking the first link in the description down below. Go check it out. And number 3 on the list is a big one. Always edit a version 2. We get easily hooked to the first edit that we make. But it's always good to start over and do something different. If it's better than your first edit, then congratulations, you've improved upon yourself. If it isn't, well, now you're definitely sure that the first one was great. The only way to know if your edit is any good is to compare it. And well, since you're the only one editing your project, probably, you can only compare it to a second version. Now with short films, I always tend to edit at least 3 versions since it's so crucial to get it right. I know, and you thought that editing was easy. It's not. And now that your hard work and dozens of sleepless nights is turned into a finished video, it's time to get real nervous. Because for number 4 on the list, you want to send it over to a test audience. Now, these could be your friends and family, but make sure they aren't held back to give critical feedback. If your video sucks, then they need to be honest about it so that you can go back to the drawing board before the video goes to the wide open public. Because the internet, my dear friends, is not gonna be kind to you. If they hate it, they won't lie about it. Right, guys? I'm talking to you. You're the internet. Now, as the editor, we're always looking at the same shots for hours, and oftentimes we don't see the mistakes anymore. And that's why it's so crucial to get a fresh pair of eyeballs on it. Which brings me to the 5th habit on the list. Always finish your video before sending it over to your test audience or to your clients. I've been there and I've made the mistakes many times. Clients don't understand what a draft means. If you haven't done your color grading yet, and even though you mention that to your client explicitly, they will guarantee come back at you saying the colors look bad. That's just how clients are. And you know, it not only frustrates you, but also your client. You're leaving them with a bad feeling, which is not good. You want to get paid eventually, so always finish your video and all the details before sending it over. The feedback that you'll get then will be more valuable, as they cannot criticize things that you haven't done yet. Oftentimes you'll notice that there won't be any feedback. Happy client, happy editor, and an invoice that is paid in time. Okay, that's not possible. What universe is this? Habit number 6, look at editing techniques that are trending. There are many online creators that set these trends. Think about Sam Calder, Daniel Schiffer, and many others. Follow their trends, but also make sure to abandon these trends when they are no longer a trend. Like, if you're still creating that Sam Calder zoom effect, then it's really starting to get time to abandon that and look for something different. And stay on top of the game by following top creators on YouTube or Instagram that you like and get inspired by. But at least every month or so, you need to fill your creativity with new inspiration and new trending editing techniques. And this brings me to the last habit that you should develop as a video editor. Always be 2 steps ahead. Okay, that just sounds vague, I know. Let me explain. If you add 1 clip into your timeline, you should already know what the 2 next clips are gonna be. And that's gonna be easier if you are also the camera guy. If not, then go thoroughly through all the clips before you start editing. Now, as you constantly think ahead, you're going to edit more with a purpose. You're going to tell a story rather than just placing random shots together. After all, editing is storytelling. See your shots as the ingredients and editing as cooking. There are a million ways to cook with the same ingredients, but only a few ways with the right seasoning makes the perfect video. And just like with cooking, you want to know where you're heading to. And that cooking comparison comes from a good friend, Eric Toms. Sounds silly, but it's true. And now with these 7 tips, you've got something to train your habits and become that better video editor. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Storyblocks for the support. Go check the first link in the description down below. But while you do, remember, stay creative. I don't even know why Timo still hasn't. I don't even know well presets, hacks, or to your test client. Nee, niet test client.
Mijn knopsken is eraf gekomen. Voilà, knopsken terug in de keyboard.